So let's start this thing off. Winners and losers. I have about 6 winners and 3 losers after the 2025 NFL draft. So if you're curious how this is going to work, and we will be doing a DEF CON update, by the way, not today, in the future. Let's start with the winners. The first winner, going to lump them all together, all the drafted players. Every single player from round 1 to round 7, even though they didn't have a second round pick, every single player that was drafted is a winner. Because whether you turn this into a career, whether you are a 10-year veteran in the league, or whether you only get through your rookie contract, or maybe you don't even make the roster this season, the fact that you were drafted, the fact that you had your name called, and then Mike Tomlin, Omar Khan, and Art Rooney called you up and said, congratulations, you're a Pittsburgh Steeler, that is an achievement. Anyone that wants to say, man, you never made it. The people that typically are saying you never made it, they never even sniffed it. They didn't even come close. A lot of those people are people that played football in high school and that's it. And they never went to college to play football. They were never even invited to like the combine or even close to being drafted. So for all those people out there, I doubt any of them are listening. That's okay. Congratulations. They're definitely winners. All of them. Doesn't matter when they were drafted, all the drafted players. The next winner is Carl Dunbar. Carl Dunbar, in case you don't know, he's been the defensive line coach for a very long time. And every now and then you get a coach, it's like, bang, the draft is working out to your benefit. So Carl Dunbar in the past, he's working with Cam Hayward, obviously, for a very long time. He's trying to mold Keanu Benton. He's probably thinking, man, I could use some new pieces of the puzzle here. Well, hey, the Steelers hear it. Derek Harmon, first-round pick. Wyatt Black, 5th-round draft pick. He is getting an infusion of talent and youth. Carl Dunbar is a winner, but I got to have a little caveat here. He's a winner, but now you got to put it together. You got to make sure that they go out there and actually perform at a high level. Turn this defensive line into something really special in terms of the way that they stop the run, the way that they free up defender or the other defenders like a TJ Watt or a pass rusher to really get the edge. Dunbar's a winner, but now it's like, okay, now the challenge starts. You have no crutch to lean on anymore. This is not I just don't have the horses. Don't have horses to win the race. Now, BS. You have them now. Time to go make something of it. Next, I'm going to go out on a limb here. A lot of people did not like the 4th-round pick of Jack Sawyer, but I have a winner at edge depth. Yes, those edge pass rushers. The depth there. I'm going to be honest, folks. It's always been a year-by-year thing of like trying to figure out who's going to be the 4th. Sometimes they didn't have a 4th. Remember the years where Anthony Chickillo was the only backup at edge? That's not a good place to be. You want TJ Watt and Alex Highsmith to be fresh. You want them to be really raring to go at the end of the game. You need some people to spell them. So Nick Herbig's been there. We know what he brings to the table. Good speed rusher, good hands move. He's very, very good, very fast. Give him the other side. So if Nick Herbig, think about it this way. Everyone's like, Jack Sawyer's not a TJ Watt clone. No, he's more of an Alex Highsmith clone. He doesn't have the spin move of Alex Highsmith, but he's more built like Alex Highsmith in terms of setting the edge, good in run support, strong defender. Nick Herbig's more the TJ Watt guy. So I'm sorry. I like the pick because now I look at it and say, okay, you have Watt and Highsmith, and now you could have Sawyer and Herbig. And I'm not about to say that this is how it's going to work, but if it does, it could be a very good situation for the Steelers when it comes to how does TJ Watt stay healthy? How does Alex Highsmith stay healthy? How do they stay fresh for the 4th quarter games? By playing these young guys more. So if you can get a good quality duo to go behind Watt and Highsmith, I think the Steelers might have just done it. So that's a winner for me, the edge depth. All right, we have 3 more winners. Arthur Smith. Arthur Smith, he might not have the quarterback that he wants. Maybe that's Will Howard. I don't know. But he does have the running back that he wants now. Caleb Johnson is a 3rd-round draft pick when a lot of people thought he would go in the 2nd round. Good value, but not just good value. I watched Kevin Smith's breakdown on Caleb Johnson, his film room. Really good stuff. I highly recommend you go check it out. But he talks about how it's not just his vision and his patience, is that he is built to run the Arthur Smith running game style, what Arthur Smith wants to do. is what Caleb Johnson does well. That was not the case with Najee Harris. And so now they have Caleb Johnson 4 years. Let's see what this guy can do. Is he going to carry the load? Or is he just going to be a spot player? Jaylen Warren and Kenny Gainwell? We don't know. But for sure, Arthur Smith has to be smiling and saying, yes, I got my running back now. I'm not trying to scheme up Najee Harris in ways that I'm not used to it, and I don't like doing it this way, and we don't have the offensive line for it. No, they've got their guy. Let's see what they can do with it. All right, next, I like this as a winner. Terrell Austin probably doesn't like it as a winner, but I have a winner as pressure on Terrell Austin. This draft was very much a defense-dominant draft. They drafted offensive players. I'm not about to say that they didn't. But when you look at the likes of Derek Harmon in round 1, you look at Wyatt Black, Jack Sawyer, you even go back into the 7th round where you're talking about Bruner, and then you had Dante, I can't remember his last name, from Central Michigan. They're all defenders. What it comes down to, in my opinion, Terrell Austin is on the hot seat. And a lot of people thought that after last season, the way the defense kind of fell apart at times in certain ways, that maybe he could be replaced. Well, Terrell Austin, I think the pressure's on him now. And I think this is good. And it's why he's a winner. It's why it's on the winners list. I think it's good because Terrell Austin, again, you don't have a crutch anymore. My friend, you just don't. You got to go out there. You've gotten a lot of high draft picks on your defense. Got to take this infusion of talent and turn it into something. You've got the second year in the defense for guys like Patrick Queen, Deshaun Elliott, Peyton Wilson. You're hoping to see steps up for Keanu Benton. You hope that Cam Hayward can continue his unbelievable career at his age. This is shaping up to be a put up or shut up year for Terrell Austin. And I'm honest, this is a win-win for fans. If they fail, he's probably gone. And if they succeed, that's what we want in the first place. But I think the pressure's on Terrell Austin. And for us, the fans, I think it's a winner. Last one for the winners, Omar Khan and company. You know, Omar Khan, he was patient. I loved how he traded back in the 5th round to gain another 7th round pick. Solid picks were made, in my opinion. And that's all that matters. You may bicker about 1 or 2 picks, but I think most of us that can keep a level head about the draft, we can look at this and say, you know what? It's a pretty good draft. It's a pretty good draft. And I'll be honest, you know, Omar Khan, this was his 3rd NFL draft as the GM of the Steelers. A lot of people were like, okay, he's had 2 good drafts. Can he keep stacking them? I would say that he kept stacking them. I think this is a really good draft class. They say things like Steelers DNA, and sometimes that's kind of, I don't know. It sounds kind of generic and fake at times, but these guys fit the mold. They fit the mold. So we'll see how they play out. But as of right now on paper, Omar Khan and company, all the scouting department, the front office should be given a round of applause. I think they did a tremendous job in the 2025 draft. Now let's go to the loser side. Only three. First is Jaylen Warren. You're probably like, Jeff, why is Jaylen Warren on the loser list? Man, this guy, how could he be on the loser list? Not necessarily his fault. Jaylen Warren signed his restricted rights free agent tender before the draft. And so that means he's going to be here for at least another year. And Jaylen Warren, I think a lot of people and Jaylen Warren himself probably thought, okay, Najee's gone. Finally, this is my chance. This is my chance. Give me the ball. Give me the ball more than 6 times a game. Let me carry the load. Let me be the workhorse. Jaylen Warren's probably thinking, this is my time to shine. And unfortunately, what do? Day 2 of the draft, round 3, they go out and take a running back. And not just any running back. They take a running back that's known for carrying the load. And so what does this mean for Jaylen Warren? It likely means that the Steelers view him as nothing more than that change of pace back, the slasher. Now, he'll probably start with getting the lion's share of the carries early in the season. But eventually, you know Caleb Johnson is going to come in and he's going to start taking over that percentage. He's going to get the brunt of the carries. Again, this is nothing against Jaylen Warren. I just think it's the fact of the matter is when you look at this situation, you're like, man, that sucks for Jaylen Warren. Everyone likes the guy. He plays really hard. He does it the right way, puts his head down, doesn't complain, and just grinds. Them drafting Caleb Johnson probably felt like a gut punch for him. if I'm being honest. But you know what? He's not going to say anything. He'll probably do it the right way. He'll probably mentor the young man, help him out as best he can. But I can't help but feel bad for Jaylen Warren, and that's why he's on the loser list. The next guy on the losers list, he would have been on the loser list either way, but he got released. That's Montravius Adams. Montravius Adams, he was still on the second year of his 2-year contract, and he's probably looking forward to the season. And here we go. I'm going to have a role on this defense. I'm going to be that nose tackle guy that can come in and maybe put some pressure on the quarterback in passing situations. And what do? 5th round, Wyatt Black gets drafted, and he's thinking, crap, here we go again. And he gets released. Is there anything worse than after the draft? Maybe his representation said, look, you just drafted 2 defensive linemen. Please release my client so that we can find a home that gives him a chance to play. Maybe that was the case, and maybe the Steelers said, you got it. You want to go find a place? We got it. We understand. We're not going to keep you. We're going to release you. Whatever the case is, it sucks for Montravius Adams. I understand it. It's part of the business. It doesn't mean we have to like it, but I also do like the fact that they did double dip on the defensive line because they need to. The last loser, before we end this exercise and take a quick break, offensive line depth. I was kind of hoping that the Steelers in the late rounds, 6th, 7th round, they take an offensive guard. I was really hoping for that, if I'm being honest. Because now when you look at the offensive line depth, I'm not thrilled with it. I'm really not. I have questions about Broderick Jones at left. No one knows what that's going to look like on the left tackle side. We have questions about Troy Fautanu because no one's seen him there outside of one game. We have questions about Mason McCormick. We have questions about Isaac Seumalo. The only one we really don't have a lot of questions about is Zach Frazier in the middle. But who's backing these players up? Max Sharping? Spencer Anderson? I mean, come on, folks. We got to figure something out. It seems like this is the position the Steelers are going to Band-Aid. Every year, there's a position where they say, we're just going to put a Band-Aid on it, and we're going to hope it gets us through, and we're going to hope and pray, fingers crossed, say all the prayers you want, that we're going to stay healthy. But the offensive line depth, I was really hoping to see something more. We just didn't see it. So that's my third loser. And final loser. Not too bad. Not too bad of an NFL draft. Those are your winners and losers. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back after this break, we're going to answer your questions in the mailbag segment. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.